I'm Savannah. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be doing this bronzy look that is perfect for summer. I really loved how it turned out, so if you want to see how to get this look, then just keep on watching. So for foundation today, I'm going to be going in with the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer in the shade Vanilla. I really like this foundation because it is full coverage, but it doesn't feel like really heavy on your skin. I start out with just a little bit first because it is very full coverage. So then I'm just going to blend this out. And this is a Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush. This is my favorite way to blend out my foundation. Then I'm just going to go back in with just a little bit more where I like it a little bit more full coverage. So that's basically just like in my T-zone. And then I'm going to go on with cream contour. So I'm going to use the Mercier concealer in the shade N9. This is like a pretty dark color, so I don't use it too much. And I want this to be like a very bronzy look, so I'm going to put this in like all of the contour places. And then to blend that out, I'm going to use the Morphe M439. And for this, all I do is just blend in an upward motion. And then whatever was left over on my brush, I kind of just bring it on my temples a little bit. And then for my nose, I just like kind of run it down the sides. And then for your forehead, you want to push it towards your hairline. And then I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and just like go over everything to make sure there's like no harsh lines or anything. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star concealer in the shade Peach. I really love the packaging of this, and this is just like a color corrector, so you don't want too much of this. Normally, I would go in with a pretty light concealer underneath my eyes, but since this is a bronzy look, you don't want something too light underneath. So I'm going to take the Morphe concealer in the shade C1.55 and just put this on all the other places. And then I'm just going to add like a tiny bit to the outside, but you don't want too much. And then I'm going to take my damp beauty blender and blend all of this out. And then when I do my under eyes, I try and like mix both of the concealers that I put together. I'm just using this Morphe concealer to set my eyelids. So now I'm going to set everything with the MAC Skinfinish in the shade Give Me Sun. It just looks like this, and this will also help with like the whole bronzy look, and then it will also set our cream contour. And to set underneath my eyes, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury powder in the shade 2 Medium, and then I'm using this Morphe M536. It's just like a little angled brush. And I just like pack this underneath my eyes. I'm going to take a fluffier brush and dip it in the same powder and kind of just put this in my T-zone so I don't get oily in those places. And then I always do like my smile lines. And then you always need to set your eyelids if you put concealer on because you don't want your eyeshadow to be like creasy or anything. So now that everything is set, I can go in with a bronzer, and I'm going to use the Nars Laguna bronzer, and this is like the perfect summer shade for me. And then I'm going to use the Morphe R2. And I'm going to go like kind of heavy on the bronzer because we want this to be super bronzy. I'm going to clean up my bronzer a little bit, so I'm going to go back in with the Charlotte Tilbury powder and kind of just like put it underneath my bronzer. I think that makes a huge difference when you clean up your bronzer even just like a little bit. For my blush, I'm going to be using the Lancome Starlight Sparkle Face Palette. This palette is so pretty. So over here there's like a bronzer and then a highlight, and then there's 2 blush shades. So I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here because this one is a little bit more pink and I don't want like a really pinky blush. And I just like put this on the apples and then I bring it up towards my temples. And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit on my nose. For my brows, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Deep Brown. And I really like this because it comes with a little spoolie. So first, I'm just going to brush my brows up. And then I'm going to take the other side, and it's just like a little pencil. And I just to fill in any places that need to be filled in. So I mostly just do the front and then like a little bit at the tail. So I'm super excited for my eyes because I have this new Artist Couture like bronzy glitter eyeshadow. You can kind of see it in the back. This looks so pretty, so I can't wait to use this. And then for my eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use the Morphe palette in the shade Truth or Bear. I've used this before. It just has like a bunch of really pretty like nude and brown colors. But for my first transition shade, I think I'm just going to go in with my Laguna bronzer that I used. I think it looks really nice when you use like the same bronzer on your face, on your eyes. So I'm just running this along my entire crease, and then when I get to the end, I kind of just make little circular motions. And then for my second shade, I'm going to go in with this shade right here. It's just like a deeper brown than the bronzer was. So I'm going to use my same brush and just use a little bit and then darken up my crease. And then I'm just going to go in with a clean brush and then kind of just go over everything. The next shade that I'm going to use is this really dark brown right here. This is like the darkest brown in the palette. And then I'm going to go in with this really angled brush, and I'm just going to put this on the outer corner of my eye in like kind of a V. I'm bringing this like about halfway on my eyelid. Then I'm going to go back in with that second shade that I used and just go over that. So I keep going back in with this same clean brush just to make sure that everything is blended all together and everything just kind of looks like seamless. And there's a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to wipe that away. So now I'm going to go in with that glitter that I showed. So I think I'm just going to go in with my finger first and see how that works. And then if that doesn't work, I can use a brush. So I just have some on my finger like that. And then I'm just going to put this in the center of my eye. This is so pretty. So I said I was putting this just on the center, but I kind of put it across my entire lid. This glitter is so pretty. It comes out like chunky on your finger and in the pan, but then when you put it on your eye, it just like blends out so nicely. I wasn't too sure on how I was gonna like this, but it is so pretty. There's just like a few little sparkles on my face, but for the most part, there was like no fallout at all. Before I do my eyelashes, I want to put a black eyeliner in my waterline. So I'm going to use this Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen. It just looks like this, and this is so good. It applies so nicely. So I'm just going to put this in my waterline. Okay, so that is on. So now for lashes, I'm going to use the Lilly Lashes in the style Goddess. These are definitely one of my favorite lashes at the moment. They're just like super wispy because I don't like when it's like super obvious that I'm wearing eyelashes. So I'm just going to put the glue on, and then I usually let it sit for like a minute or so because I like the glue to get tacky. And I love these because I've worn these so many times and they're still good. Okay, my lashes are on, so I'm going to finish off my eyes with mascara, and I'm going to use the Nars Climax. And then I just kind of like mesh my fake eyelashes in with my real eyelashes. And then put a little bit on my bottom lashes. And then for highlight, I'm going to be using my favorite like full glam highlight. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Bomb. It's just like a loose highlighter. It's so pretty, but it's really, really intense. So you only need the smallest amount. See, like that was just a little bit. And it's really easy to like put too much on because I even kind of put a little bit too much. Then I'm going to put some on my nose. And then I'm also going to put some in my inner corner. So to finish off the look, I'm going to be using this lip combo that I've been like obsessed with. So I use the Kylie Bare, and then I go in with Maybelline Nude Lust. And then for gloss, I use the Dominique Cosmetics gloss in the shade Creamer. So first I'm going to line my lips. Then I go in with the Maybelline lipstick. and then the gloss. Okay, that completes this makeup look. I will have all the products that I use linked down below in the description box like always. So make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's just Savannah Boals, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I post a new video.